What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I am going to give you my first impressions on the Canon 50mm RF 1.8 lens. I've had this lens for a couple of weeks now, but I wanted to cover the pros, cons, and give you guys my first impression on why I think this could be the perfect travel lens. I had a recent trip to Las Vegas, which I thought was the perfect testing ground. There's so much happening in Vegas, and I wanted to photograph it all with this lens. The photography possibilities are unlimited. So if you're looking for a versatile and affordable option for your next adventure, stay tuned to see why this 50mm might be the lens for you. Let's jump into it. Now this video may be a little different because I am going to walk around and take photos as I'm talking about this lens. If you like this style of video, please let me know in the comment section below. Let's start with the pros of this lens. The first pro that stands out to me is the size of this lens. It is small, light, and compact. The size of this lens on the Canon R8 is a dream come true. The quality you can achieve from this combination at this size is unreal. It is so small and I can just fit it in my side bag and not be bothered by the weight at all. The second pro is the image quality you are achieving from this $200 lens. In Vegas, I would wake up early and I'd go out in the mornings to take photos on this strip so I can capture that morning light, and I couldn't believe the quality of the images I was able to capture out there. This lens is sharp enough at 1.8, but if you stop it down to 2.8, the sharpness improves throughout the whole image. I also love the compression you get from this lens. I really enjoy photographing landscapes with a 50mm because you get the additional compression in your photos. And compression creates the illusion of objects that are far away seem closer to you. As you can see here, the Eiffel Tower appears to be much closer than what it really is. This really separates your photos from photos taken with a phone, which are often shot at a very wide landscape. And yes, 50mm is tight, but don't let that hold you back. If you take multiple images, you can create a panoramic image in post and create a wider depth of field while also maintaining that intriguing look you're getting from the compression of a 50mm. Now let's talk about the low light capabilities. Because this lens is a 1.8 lens, it really opens up and allows you to use high shutter speeds at nighttime to freeze that frame. This is a huge benefit, especially since this lens does not have lens stabilization on it. You can see here when I was photographing the strip at night, I was getting a little blur when shooting 1/25th shutter speed. However, once I opened the lens up and I brought the shutter speed back to around 125, I didn't have any issues capturing night scenes with it. Now, if you want to have a little bit of fun with that slow shutter, what you can do is try to drag the shutter with this lens. The compression of the 50mm lends to a nice background, and I was able to capture some shots of moving cars using this technique. Dragging the shutter can add a lot of motion into your nighttime photography. Another great benefit to the 50mm 1.8 is it creates a beautiful bokeh, and the bokeh has an incredible fall off of images. You can see the fall off on this photo I took of my Konica 3M, and the bokeh just looks beautiful. It's very smooth and it really just drops off. This is going to help you add that 3D pop to your photos, which is really going to make them stand out. Okay, now let's move on to the flares. For the most part, I really enjoyed the flares I was able to capture with this lens, especially when stopped down to f8 to f11. You can start to see some powerful starbursts. Look at these images here. The starburst looks incredible, and these may have been some of my favorite shots that I was able to capture in Vegas. Like I said, I am very happy with the way this lens handles direct sun. Could it be better? Of course. You can see in these photos I was getting some green artifacts from this lens. This is one of the cons I have for this lens. I am not a fan of the green artifacts. However, I can't expect the most beautiful flares out of a $200 lens. I think it controls the flares a great deal, especially for being on the cheaper side, and you're going to be able to still capture some beautiful backlit images. Another con is the weather sealing on this lens. I wouldn't trust this lens out in light rain or the snow, knowing that it is mostly made out of plastic, even though it does have a metal mount to it. I wouldn't risk it knowing this lens isn't weather sealed. This isn't that big of an issue though. I mostly plan on using this lens out in nice weather and to take this lens with me out on walks while I'm traveling. I don't plan on bringing this lens into any bad weather conditions. But one great news is that while I was walking around Vegas, it was 101 degrees and this lens held up beautifully. The intense heat didn't affect it at all. Another con is this lens is mostly made out of plastic, but it does feel like a very high-end plastic. And in my opinion, the higher end plastic works great on this lens because it really keeps its weight down. And at the end of the day, I was just looking for a carry-around lens I could bring on my travels that didn't really weigh me down or stand out and make it look like I was carrying around professional camera gear. Now, do I think this is the perfect walk-around travel lens? It is the only lens I brought with me to Vegas, and overall, I really enjoyed carrying it around. It is lightweight, and once you stop it down to 2.8, it is tack sharp. I personally really like shooting 50mm for travel. I can capture a different perspective than most common wider lenses. Also, 50mm always makes the world feel a little bit more cinematic. If you're looking to upgrade from your kit lens, this could be a great next option for you. However, if you're looking for something a little wider, Canon makes a compact 35 and 28mm, which I've heard great things about. Awesome, well thank you again guys for watching my video. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions on the Canon 50mm or the Canon R8. I am looking to produce more videos on this 50mm as well as the Canon R8, so look for that coming soon. Please like and subscribe to my channel because you know it helps my channel grow. Once again, I am constantly putting out camera related content, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.